This is lesson 44, page number 1. We are discussing now ventricular arrhythmia. Now, as I told you before also, that arrhythmia refers to a condition of abnormal electrical impulse formation. Either is due to abnormal electrical impulse formation or due to disorder of conduction, or both. So, impulse formation abnormality or abnormality in the conduction, or both together. Now, the ventricular disorder when arising from the ventricle is called ventricular arrhythmia, is known as ventricular arrhythmia. Ventricular arrhythmias are generally more dangerous than any other type of arrhythmia that we have discussed. It is responsible for sizable number of sudden cardiac death every year. Now, types of ventricular arrhythmia are 4. Generally, there are many others. That is ventricular premature beat, ventricular tachycardia, then ventricular fibrillation, and ventricular asystole. So, we will discuss under these 4 headings. Now, let us discuss with the ventricular premature beat or ventricular extrasystole or ventricular ectopic are all the different names of the same condition. Now, and it is found very frequently, and sometimes it is benign, harmless, and sometimes it may signify some disease. Next, we will discuss in detail about the premature ventricular beat or ectopic beat. Second type is ventricular tachycardia, VT, when there are 3 or more consecutive ventricular premature beat, we call it ventricular tachycardia. So, if ventricular extrasystole is coming 3 continuously or more than 3, this is labeled as ventricular tachycardia. There are various subtypes. One is it is sustained ventricular tachycardia, which means it persists for a longer period, that is more than 30 seconds, that is half minute, and produce symptom. This is known as sustained ventricular tachycardia. Non-sustained tachycardia occurs for a short period and is self-limiting episodes. So, non-sustained is which occurs for a shorter period, that is less than 3 extrasystole, and for a shorter period and less sustained and self-terminating. Then the third subtype is accelerated in idioventricular tachycardia, which we will discuss soon. Then the important type that we must know is torsade de points. This is a form of ventricular tachycardia which is polymorphic, many different shapes, that presents a varying amplitude of the QRS, as if the QRS wave or QRS complex is being twisted above the baseline. If it is twisted above the baseline. Then the another type is monomorphic ventricular tachycardia or polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. So these are the four subsetting of the ventricular tachycardia. This is what we wanted to discuss this time. Thank you.